And just like that, we're back at it again. Soft Hands Garage is tearing it up. We got 2 videos out pretty quick in a row. This one should be a few days later. You know, I'm just starting right now, so I don't know how long that's going to be. But we're getting the everything prepped, got all the hardware painted, repainted the perches just because they were, you know, it was the last little bit of paint I had left in that can, and I didn't really like it. So, anyways, got a couple of things drying. We're going to get some hardware put on, the motor mounts on, and the bell housing put on, stuff like that. We'll get started. So I had some video editing issues. I have no idea what happened, but I had the video on slow-mo for a good portion of messing around with the clutch, putting the bell housing on and stuff. So I'm just going to show a short clip of failure to put the bell housing on after the clutch is already, and the flywheel are both already on. You can't do it. Just kind of a spoiler alert. Check that out, and you know, we'll carry on from there. Now that is actually what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to pull all of this back off, put the bell housing on, and then, I don't know, it might be easier just to put it in the frame first and go from there. But this is, I'll be able to get the bolts torqued down on the flywheel, but I will not, there's no possibility that I'm going to be able to get to this top bolt on the clutch with the bell housing on. I'm going to have to rotate the crankshaft. Wow, that is an unfortunate design. Absolutely is. Well, here we go. Well, there's a little bit of comedy involved, and I didn't video it, but I was trying to leave the flywheel up in there, and put this on the indexing dowels, and I ended up squirting the chair out like a tiddlywink underneath me, and you know, things were flying everywhere. But anyways, that didn't work, so it's over there now. And I went ahead and just put that on. Now, in order to get any torque on those bolts on the inside, this is obviously going to have to go up. I can't get the torque wrench in there and have any swing to get torque. So up is fine, except that it's dangling on a chain. So then it's just going to swing as I try to put torque on it. So what I figure I gotta do is get these outside bolts torqued, and then put it in the frame, torque the inside bolts, then I can put the flywheel and the clutch on. So, wow, you can't have it sitting on the ground and change anything with the clutch, flywheel, etc. I don't know. Even I never did find this one. Obviously, it's pretty unique, but ones like it where the expectation is the flywheel is on. They have an inspection cover here, at least, to where you can pull that off and get to that top bolt on the clutch. Nothing here. I'm gonna have to actually rotate the crank once it's in there to get around all the bolts. That's amazing. Well, okay, it is what it is. So that's where I'm going next. Yeah, connected the fuel line up here so that when I put the brackety thing in there, I'll have a pretty good exact little Cal. I'm gonna need both hands. adjust my hand. Come on, start. Heavy rod. Don't you love brake lights? Alright, I had to take both ends off to get it lined up, but we're good now. Our final torquing. This happened. I must have gotten one of the brakes in the back kind of tight. It did not want to roll and put a jack in there. Oh yeah, I got that stuff in there too. That's probably about all I got anyway. Maybe a couple of inches if I need it. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, two. It's time. Well, let's see if that's enough. This sucker's heavy. Probably would have been better to move. It was on the stand. Alright. No swinging it around. I don't really like being under it at all, but I gotta move the bottom here. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, this is a lot of weight. Go. A little bit so it stops smelling. Think about the next move. That's fine. Perfect. Alright, I got it that far. And I went ahead and put it on the blocks. So I was waiting until the last second to do the perches. And was getting ready to put those on, and the old paint did not get along very well with the new paint. I have no idea what happened. I must have gotten oil on them, in the one day that they were painted sitting over there by themselves, I don't know. But I can't do that. I'm not going to just throw those on there. Can't do it. I'm going to sand those down. Might just wire wheel it, get the whole thing off of there and paint them again. Which means I'm just going to go ahead and also wait for it to dry completely, like I should. And really, the bolts weren't, well, they were just painted as recently as those were, about an hour or 2 hours ago, something like that. But anyways, it's sitting on the blocks. It's sitting right here. I got to extend the pole out, and it'll be ready to push in. I put the rear mounts in here and have these guys standing by. So, you know, this will come in. I'll get it set on those two there, and then just hover it above this because those actually screw into the bell housing corners. They're threaded in the corners there. So I'll just hover it above that, kind of get them started in there. And I'm leaving everything loose. I'll just, once everything's started, I'll drop it down. And then I guess I'll go ahead and do the clutch job that I was working on. And then I'll be able to tie it down and start putting things on it. Did it again. I mean, just almost immediately, within 5 minutes or something. This paint's bad. I completely cleaned that off, reprimered it. And it just does that on the second coat. But that's for tomorrow. Okay, they look horrible. Like they've had numerous coats of paint. But they don't look like alien skin anymore. And they're covered with paint, so hopefully won't rust quite so easily. I don't really care. This engine's going to be sitting on these. Well, they'll be attached to the engine and it'll be sitting on those, but you get the point. They won't be easily seen anyway. And they're fine. They're covered with paint. But that's the 4th paint job. Something like that. Is what it is. Despite having the same clothes and the same hat on, this is the next day. I got her set as I can hope for, I guess, at this point. I'm going to leave the boom short because it's at 1 ton. And half ton is just always a little scary for me. So I think I should fit fine in here. I'm going to scooch these. I checked the width and I should be able to actually move these ballast, pontoon, whatever they're called. Should slide right underneath there. So we'll see. Whew. Maybe I'll just leave it there. Okay. Knock her out a little bit. We want to run this other side to drop in the front first. Oh shoot. I need to tighten those bolts up under the bell housing a little bit. Alright, come back just a wee bit. Oh, oops. Seems we're already down on that side. Okay. There we go. Of course, that side's letting me go in first. I can't see it. Look in there. Huh. Let's see. Quite a ways. From that one, but not this one. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that's interesting. Because I'm nowhere near either one of those perches. What am I missing? See, look at the hole is still way up there on that one. And closer, but not on this one. Huh. Geometry, I guess. But I don't know. Oh, I wonder if the blocks have to go in here first in the perches. Oh, that's it. The blocks have to go into the perches first. All right, let me do that. Okay, that makes a little more sense, I guess. Ish. The other side's gonna drop first for sure. Bend that if I can help it. Oh, already bent it. There we go. Fine. It's flexible. Few lines out of the way. Okay. Needs to back up just a wee bit. Well, shoot. I can get the bolt in this side. Not that side, but that's alright. We're going to start there. With this holding steady. Just start them. Just start it. Kind of hard twisting like a pretzel to get in here, but come on. Just start it. Okay. Beautiful. It's perfect. All right, we put those bolts in. Other one on that side went in perfectly and easily, so this one should give me a pretty good fight. You'll be able to witness that. There it is, there it is. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Come on. Good bite. Take a bit. Look him in there. All right. It's in there. My golly. That's as far as I'm going to go with tightening anything. I'm not tightening it down. I'm just leaving it loose and started. And then that's now out of the way. The line is perfectly good where it is. And here we go. This is it. This is in there. Look at that. No weight. No weight on that. It's officially in. I don't care what you say. It's in. Oh yeah. Love it. Now all I got to do is everything else. Got to put the clutch back in the fun way, up underneath the bell housing. Ah, well, it's fine. I did find out that the torque values that I had were wrong, so that's actually kind of a good thing. I had them in there at 60 pounds because I just Googled it. Well, I was going in looking for the torque value to the bell housing bolts, and there was the flywheel to crankshaft, 100 to 105. A fair amount more torque than what I was going to leave on there, so that's good. You know, things happen for a reason sometimes, so. All right, though. That's awesome. I'm so stoked. Well, I got the flywheel jammed back up in there using the floor jack. And it's in there. I'm gonna have to take it back out. I forgot to torque the bell housing bolts down. So that was kind of painful already, and I still have to do the clutch, which is going to be even worse because it's about the same weight, and I'm not going to be able to just rest it on the jack like that. I'm going to have to hold it in there to get the bolts in. So whatever, I'll get that started, and I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and post this one. It's just Wednesday, and I'm probably not going to get this posted till Friday, but I got things going on between now and Friday. I got doctor things that we don't want to talk about going on, so I'm not going to get to editing and posting this probably till Friday. But anyway, then the weekend, Friday and this weekend, is going to be putting the accessories on. And maybe I can get it to where it'll run. You know, not this weekend probably, but if I could just get some oil in it first, and then and operate the pump, get some of that soaked down, because it's been sitting dry since the it got assembled, and I really don't like that. I like it to have some oil in there, and then figure out what can I do as far as getting a radiator set up there without having a front clip on and all that. Can that be done? And I got a boat tank up there. It's a boat tank. Maybe I could use that instead of the gas tank, which is just right over there. But I don't know what it even looks like anymore. That's a little more work than I'm interested in right now. But I would like to get it to run if at all possible. And I don't know how I'm gonna figure out the test on the clutch, but I'd like to test the clutch before I put the cab back on. So just because I'm nervous about it, and that's a pain. Topside, it's going to be tough enough. I don't know how you go about changing that thing from underneath when all the body's on it and everything. People lay on their backs and change that, and I just can't even fathom it. It's gonna be a killer sitting on the cross member. But anyway, we're gonna get all that started on this Friday. So wait for the next video. Is gonna be a pretty quick turnaround, like Monday or Tuesday maybe, depending on what I get done. All right, have a good one, and check back.